Good morning, Zionsville, as we're looking at another snowy downtown area there. This kind of looks like a little Hallmark movie.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yes.
The brick streets of Zionsville.
The streets are nice and clean, I can say. A little slick, though, and that is why it's a weather impact alert day again for us. Even though the snow is not coming down just yet, the slick roads are what we're worried about a little later today during the rush hour area when we are having some snow that is coming back down. It's still warmer.
Yes.
We just are still talking about snow.
Yeah, how's 30 sound?
Okay.
Sounds better than what we've
It
seen.
does.
For sure. So we are talking, as you mentioned, maybe a little bit of snow depending on where you are. Not a lot. It's just that timing of it being while we're trying to get to work or school.
Yeah, and when temperatures are still technically below freezing,
Right.
although it feels better this morning.
It does a lot better
Crazy.
this morning.
You can still get some slick spots, and sometimes the little baby snows are the worst ones when it comes to traffic. So Lindsay's keeping a very close eye this morning. I'll get to her in just a moment. I just want to show you that weather impact alert. Not a winter storm today, but we do have some snow showers that could cause some slick spots. So just watch out as you are headed out the door. There could be these little patches of snow or ice that are tough to see. Right now you're looking at radar. We've just got scattered snow showers across central Indiana. There's a quick clipper system passing right on through, but let's kind of get farther into the map. We've got this winter weather travel advisory farther to the south. These are locations like Columbus, Seymour, Greensburg, the North Vernon into Brookville Lake. We've got a higher chance of maybe an inch, 2 or 3 inches or so, especially late this morning and into the afternoon. What's going to happen is we're going to have scattered snow showers on and off all morning long, and then they're going to become more concentrated just south of Indy. So around Indianapolis, there could be a dusting in spots, but I think the majority of the action will be farther south. In fact, there are a couple new e-learning reports for schools coming up far south and east of Indianapolis. Right now, we've had some flurries kind of on and off to the north. Scotty Graber's there in Zionsville where we're dry at the moment, but we've been watching this little snow band on the east side of Indianapolis. Looks like it's kind of intensifying a little bit. Lindsay's been looking at some of the cameras. She'll show you what it looks like there by I-70, but I just want to show you this clipper system passes on through. We may still have a couple more on and off snow showers this week, but look at the high pressure to the west. That has more heat with it and eventually warmer air. We're going to show you how warm next week can go. But as advertised, Lindsay, what is it kind of looking out towards the east side?
Nothing major, but I'll tell you the wind looks to be picking up because our cameras are really dancing around out there on I-70. But I did find a camera at the Greenfield Rest area. So I wanted to show you this. It's kind of right in the heart of this darker blue showing up on radar this morning. And that's where we would, if we were to be getting any snow at the ground, certainly going to be within some of those heavier bands that have set up. And I have noticed, if you look very closely in the street camera, there's just a few flurries dancing around the light source there. And it's kind of hard to see. The flurries are so fine and thin and small. This time of day when it's dark, it's kind of hard to get the reflection of any light off of them to pick up on them. So there's your Greenfield Rest area. We'll keep an eye on that. We also have a crash we're following on the northeast side. This is I-465 westbound at Allisonville Road. We've got that right travel lane as well as the ramp partially blocked. You can see we are in the red leading up to Allisonville Road. And right now that is causing a 4-minute slowdown on 465 westbound.
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, this morning we're learning more about the investigation timeline into the disappearance and murder of a Fishers teen, Haley Busby.
The suspect arrested in connection with this case is now sitting in jail on a $1.5 million bond. Anna Chalker has been following this case this morning. She's in studio with what the lawyer unveiled after that initial hearing. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, ladies. Tyler Thomas's lawyer tells us he led the FBI to Busby's body over the weekend, but one sheriff's department in Ohio is still looking for other remains. And this investigation spans 2 states and several counties. So I want to walk you through the last month and all the times with this. Police tell us Thomas admitted to picking Busby up from her Fishers home on January 5th. Her family reported her missing the next day, and investigators say he met her on an online gaming platform. Then on January 16th, Fishers police contacted police in Columbus, Ohio. And 4 days later, on the 20th, investigators declared Haley as an endangered missing juvenile. Now, one of the big places being searched right now is a short-term rental in Hocking County, Ohio, that you can see on your screen. Police searched it a couple weeks ago and then just again yesterday after new information came in. And this is where investigators believe she was killed, but they found her remains in Perry County, Ohio, which is 40 miles away.
The worst part is the effect it has on the family members. That has to be just disheartening to them. What happened and why did it happen and how did it happen? There's a lot of questions unanswered I'm sure that they've got in their mind.
That was a Hocking County sheriff you just heard from. Now, Thomas is not facing charges of murder yet, but is still facing tampering with evidence and pandering sexually oriented matter with a minor. His lawyer says he will plead not guilty if he is charged with murder. We know that could be coming within the next couple of days. We are checking the jail log right now, because he is actually booked in Franklin County, Ohio. So a lot going on with this, a lot that is spanning from these two states right now. And we know this investigation far from over, but still people in Fishers trying to remember her, just trying to get past all of this. So we'll share some tributes coming up.
That's so important with a case like this, because there's so much questions about what happened.
And a lot of movement.
Remembering Haley is what's important this morning. Thank you, Anna.
Well, the case, of course, has brought up a lot of concerns around predators, particularly those that groom children using the internet.
We talk with experts about how other parents can use strategies to keep your kids safer online. So they recommend using online filters. They want you to check security settings, ask your kids about apps that you see on their devices, games, who's online and what they're sharing and saying on these apps.
Also, a big part of this is encouraging your kids to look for any red flags, and experts say they are always there. Often they say these predators will try to gain kids' trust over a long period of time.
They will invest a lot of time to get to know the child because they want to get to know kind of where their vulnerabilities are, what kind of oversight does this kid have at home. They need to know that, is this going to be someone that I can manipulate and get away with it?
Now, for kids, if a chat gets too personal or you feel uncomfortable at all, tell a trusted adult right away. Experts say that's because the danger can happen to anyone.
Don't ignore your gut. Haley's parents are now advocating for a law in her name, and part of it would require predator and online grooming education in Indiana schools. There's a petition right now that has over 50,000 signatures in support.
And you can catch up on all our coverage on this case at WTHR Plus. We're following this closely, of course, alongside our sister station in Columbus, Ohio. You can also see any updates online and streaming on demand.
At the State House now, a bill on immigration is heading to the full House.
Now, this bill already passed the Senate, so the recently passed out of the Judiciary Committee, and that was a 9-4 vote, but it did face some changes, making it stricter, in fact, and more enforceable.
Under these changes, local governments, including police, would have full civil and criminal immunity if they cooperate with ICE requests to detain someone. Also, hospitals now would have to report what identification a patient uses if that patient receives Medicaid. This measure gives the Indiana Attorney General more power, too, to enforce and defend the actions under this bill. Testimony from those that are against the bill far outweighed those who supported it at the State House yesterday.
When residents fear that any interaction with their local government could have immigration consequences, right or wrong, crimes go unreported, and communities are less safe.
An enforcement of federal law and state law and the removal of all illegal aliens, not just those who've committed violent crimes, but all, is the #1 priority that all legislators and law enforcement in America should have right now.
Well, now that the bill is headed to the full House, there still could be more changes made.
And protests over these immigration enforcement raids are spreading nationwide. Now they're hitting schools and affecting a lot of students right here in central Indiana.
A lot of students are choosing to walk out of multiple schools across Indianapolis, and we're seeing even more demonstrations that are planned in the days ahead. Marina Silva is in studio this morning. What's the message that the students and adults want to share this morning, Marina?
Well, most aren't old enough to vote, but they say they can't stay silent. More than 400 students walked out of North Central High School yesterday, and it's all to protest ICE policies and its presence across the country. North Central students walked west on 86th Street to Westfield Boulevard, and at one point, students blocked the intersection. IMPD showed up as well to assist with crowd control.
I think when young people speak out, it's very impactful because we have a bigger voice than some of the other people. We are speaking out for people who do not have a voice to speak out.
Washington Township Metropolitan School District did give us a statement saying they knew this was happening, adding leaving campus during school hours without proper authorization is not permitted under school policy. If parents want their students to leave school, please follow the standard sign-out process through our attendance office. Students who leave class or campus without permission will be subject to the consequences outlined in our code of conduct. Now, we do know more protests are planned for today, with some that are in support of the current administration's immigration policies. That's something we're continuing to watch for and we'll follow up on throughout the day.
And often sometimes when we see students choose to go down to the State House or things like that, maybe it's an excused absence or, but this is school saying that this is unexcused. It's not something that they support.
As long as your parents need to sign you out, essentially is what they're saying. If you want to leave school, your parents have to sign you out.
Thank you, Marina.
Yep.
Well, right now, police are looking for the driver in a deadly hit and run on the east side of Indianapolis. Police say they were called to this area of 34th and Shaylin around 9 last night, and you can see the heavy police presence that had part of the street shut down. They say a man that was walking nearby died in this crash, and the driver left the scene. So they're asking for helpful information for you to reach out if you know something to police or call Crime Stoppers.
Well, the entire town of Speedway is still under a boil water advisory after several water main breaks in the last few days. The advisory was first issued late Sunday night. Town officials are reminding everyone boil all that tap water for at least 1 minute before using it for cooking, brushing teeth, or even washing your food.
A former IRS agent charged in the murder of his wife and a stranger. The jury's decision in this case that has gained national attention.
And Kelly Clarkson announces she's ending her talk show after this season. Why she says she made that difficult decision to walk away.